goes out. Gosh, I can't. This sun is beaming, and I forgot my stand at home. So we are going to allow the notification to go out, and we're going to take a look at the energy for today. Welcome for those of you that are coming in via playback. I kind of hear spirits saying, breathe. Even this is a moment. I'm hearing breathe. Even this is but a moment. Right? So we're going to kind of see why we need to breathe today. Um, and I can't see myself. I can't even see comments. I can't even see if anybody has jumped on. The sun is reflecting. I forgot my camera stand, my tripod stand. So, all right. Spirit is saying to breathe today. Why are we breathing? Why are we breathing today? This too is but a moment. Okay. It is beautiful out today. Okay. You know what's kind of funny? Because I was speaking to Kelly Kells this morning and I was telling her that I feel mentally overloaded. Hey, Miss T, wholeness to you. Miss T, wholeness to you. How is this energy treating you today? I forgot my tripod, so I'm trying to do my best with the camera. I can't even see myself on the screen. The sun is coming in so strong, so I can't even really see myself. And no matter where I position the camera, it's just like a glare. But I was saying that the message I was getting from Spirit this morning was breathe. Like this too is but a moment, right? What you're experiencing right now, whatever circumstances, whatever situation, whatever matters of the heart, whatever matters of the mind, whatever matters of the spirit that you have going on. I hear Spirit saying, breathe. This is but a moment too. Better today out in the sun. I feel tired today. I feel like I need a nap. I feel energetically like I need a nap. And I'm going camping this weekend. So we're going to be camping starting this afternoon, late this afternoon, into Sunday. So I'm excited to be out in nature. I'm not so excited to be sleeping outside. So I'm not too far from the campsite, so I don't know if I'm gonna go home and actually sleep in my bed, and then maybe circle on back when the sun come up in the morning or something. But I'm gonna try and enjoy this experience because of all of this newness in the air. I don't want to miss an opportunity because something is outside of my comfort zone, right? So I'm gonna show up and we're gonna do the camping thing, right? So okay. So message for today is breathe. This too is but a moment. And from what I'm picking up is you have the two of pentacles showing up. And the two of pentacles showing up in reverse is talking about something not feeling in balance. And this could be something in your physical world, right? So this could be money. This could be having to make a financial decision. This could be having to reorganize things, right? Because there's not enough balance. Reorganizing your schedule, reorganizing your money. Maybe paying attention to how you're allocating your money. Miss T said that. Miss T, did you say that you stay you have to stay okay. You love camping? Yeah. I like nature. I could do glamping though. Like I could do glamping. I like nature, but I could do glamping. I can. All right. So breathe. This too is but a moment. So Spirit is saying there's a lack of balance somewhere. Maybe some things need to be reorganized. Maybe having to make some different financial decisions, or maybe making financial decisions very quickly, or feeling rushed, or feeling like there's so much going on that you have to make decisions quickly, or you don't have the time to process things before moving, is what I hear Spirit saying, right? So you want to breathe and know that this too is but a moment. It kind of feels like you got to move um task by task is what I'm picking up. Spirit is saying, especially this weekend, right? Energetically, especially this weekend, I feel like you're gonna have to move task by task, right? So create your list, whether it's mental or physical, but just know that um, you may not get everything done on your list that you anticipate, right? Just know that, and that's okay, because Spirit is saying that's okay, right? Now, you do have the Temperance cards popping up in reverse in this period with the King of Pentacles. With the Temperance card popping up in reverse, it feels like somebody had it, they no longer have the patience for something, all right, or maybe even they don't have, they have a different perspective that you may have in something. Let's clarify this imbalance, because we have imbalance here showing up twice in the Two of Pentacles, also in Temperance in reverse. Okay. Um, there's something going on where there's an imbalance, but from what I'm picking up and what Spirit is saying, there's an imbalance, but there's an imbalance internally. The imbalance that you may be feeling externally, whether it has to do with money, the household, your stability, and I'm even hearing your creativity, right? Spirit is saying there's some of us that are called right now for a deeper level of healing, especially when it comes to inner child healing. And I was talking about shadow work yesterday, right? And making sure that you're showing up and doing the shadow work. Okay, so there's something going on that might be messed. Okay, sorry about that. I had to move, my phone overheated. I had to move out of the sun because my phone overheated. I don't know, can you guys still hear and see me? I don't even know if the live is still going. Okay, I don't know, can you still hear me? I don't even know if the live is still going. I don't want to cut. Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Because I felt that, when your phone sits in the sun, it just overheats. Um, and the phone overheated and shut down on me. So now I'm back. Okay. So what was I saying? I was saying that I heard Spirit said this too is but a moment. Um, and that you're going to get to the other side of whatever this is. Um, So energetically for myself, what I've been picking up for myself energetically, is that um, emotional and mentally, and I even think on a akashic level, there's a lot of healing going on for a lot of people that's open to this healing, right? There's an awareness about the true you, the real you, who you want to be now in this new timeline, right? There is some healing going on, and especially healing things that you may find you regret or may not have made the best decision or the best choices. I also feel like for some of you, it's not even regret, it's more about repression or feeling oppressed where you were not able to speak your truth, or you may have just been trying to keep the peace, or you may have been walking um, in a place of love with something or somebody, right? But I feel like all of that has changed now, because whatever this change is has to do with your security, it has to do with your stability, it has to do with your stability. And I'm feeling like it's just not stability financially, although stability financially, because we do have the King of Pentacles popping up here and the Two of Pentacles popping up here in reverse. Although there's money and there's finances here, I feel like this goes deeper than money and finances. I feel like this goes deeper into the core of who you are, and this is why you're being required to do the shadow work. I feel like maybe some of the belief systems or the inner knowings that you had connected to, maybe and some of the belief systems and some of the inner knowings that you had connected to relationships, or what you thought maybe success is, or maybe what you thought being supportive was, or maybe what you thought being helpful was, right? There are a lot of things that you are changing. I just want to say this. Right now, it feels energetically like a lot of us are being reintroduced to new selves in this level. Okay. So for anyone coming in and watching this message at a later time, you need to know that your future self is speaking to you right now, right? So the you that's going through, that's uncovering, that's doing the work is not going to be the you that's going to be on the other end of this. Okay. So the you on the other end of this is reaching out now and telling you, yeah, we're working and healing our inner child, and those thoughts or those feelings or maybe even those actions that were repressed, those things that you couldn't do, right? When you were with this person, or when you were at this job, or when you were trying to make sure that you please the family, whatever you were doing in that old timeline, they're saying in this new timeline, you don't have to do that. And I kind of feel like, yeah, so people are looking back, right? There's nostalgia here. So this could be work from the past that you need to do. And especially work that's attached to you, your stability. But I'm not even feeling like a stability just in finances. It feels like it's, yep, okay, so you got the two of wands popping up here, right? There's two paths that's being open to you right now, right? There's a path, and you really got to make a decision about where you want to go. Okay, so there's a decision that needs to be made about where you want to go and how you want to handle this. Now, let me just say this energetically, what I'm picking up, and energetically, right? One decision, you can stay and you can confirm, you can stay and you can confirm or confine, or no, what's the word, conform. You can conform, right, to this old way of doing things, to the part that you know that you've been repressing yourself, or the parts that you know that you've been holding back, right? Or maybe even the parts that you may have regretted that you didn't say something, or you didn't do something, or you didn't get something, right? So there's the parts of you that's coming up now that can stay in this repressive energy, or stay in the energy where you regret, right? Or you're actually going to do the shadow work, right? You're going to do the shadow work. You're going to go back into the past, right? Going to go back into those memories, and you're going to make a decision, because you have a choice. You're either going to do things the old way and keep getting the old results and keep attracting the same energy, right? And people, but different faces. So you keep attracting the same type of energetical beings, but they have different faces. So you exit one situation to get into another situation, but you realize that this situation that you just got into is the same type of energy, the same type of behavior, but just with different people or different faces, or maybe a totally different scenario, but it's the same type of energy that you have to deal with. Hey, Mr. Bumblebee, do y'all see the bumblebee? Ah, so spirit is saying that there's a patch to make, because the other side of that is making the decision that may not be the most comfortable decision, right? It may not be the most comfortable decision, and in this moment you just need to breathe and know that it's a moment. But the new decision, or the newness, or the okay. And I want to make sure that this is said too. For some people, there's decisions that you got to make to leave the old behind, right? And with leaving the old behind, it's not that you want to get to the new because you think the grass is greener on the other side. That's not what it is, right? You want to get to the new because you know that the old is no longer working, right? You've been doing the work with your inner child. You've been asking yourself the questions, right? You've been doing this, right? And there's a sense of planning, and I don't feel like the planning is happening so much externally. I think a lot of this work is being done internally with the healing, like making up your mind where you want to go, making up your mind what you want to do, making up your mind, how this looks to you, right? Making up your mind how this looks to you. And I even want to say some of you may even find that you're a bit more secretive, or maybe not even secretive is a word. You're a bit more quiet in how you're moving with things, because you don't want a lot of people in your ear about the choices or the decisions that you're going to be making, or that you have to make, right? So with this two of wands energy upright, it kind of feels like you're leaving something and forging into something new. You're detaching yourself from something old and forging into something new. But can I tell you something? With the Empress popping up, whatever you're stepping out and moving into, this is going to be good. This is something that's fertile. This is something that you've been contemplated for a while. And I kind of feel like energetically, you knew that you may have to make some of these choices. So I don't think that. I don't think that spirit is saying breathe this a moment because you're no longer in a space where you're shocked, right? So you might have went through the shock or went through whatever I want to say emotional or mental newness you had to go through, like an eclipse energy, or maybe within the past 2 weeks. But if you're being honest with yourself, although it's shocking the way things came down, part of you still knew that eventually you would have to make this transition into something new, right? So you do have the Empress paired with the Ace of Swords in reverse. Now, the Ace of Swords in reverse to me, like this is like stale communication. Nothing is not moving. There's a whole bunch of words being spoken. And I kind of feel like the communication is going back and forth of the word, and I'm thinking word salad because somebody, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day and they was like, I don't need your word salad. And I'm like, well, what the fuck does that even mean? Like word salad. What does that mean? Like, I'm not even a person that talks word salad. Like, I'm a very philosophical person and a very spiritual person, but I don't think I do word salad, right? But that's what's popping up in my head, like word salad. So I take away from the conversation that I had that word salad has to do with somebody thinking that you're just giving them a whole bunch of words and there's nothing in your words, right? So you want to be mindful of that because part of that when you're dealing with people is them deflecting, like they don't want to have that conversation. So they do want to deflect on something else. So I feel like somebody may know that it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to choose a path. And the path that you're going to choose with this Empress energy here is a fertile path, right? But I feel like you got energy around you of doubt and of limitation with this Ace of Swords, like having a conversation or sharing something with someone. Now, let me just say this because I always say the someone that you're having this communication with or this relationship with, that someone could very well be you. That could be you. That someone could be you having a relationship with you, right? So your higher self, this Empress energy is saying this is the time for us to do XYZ, whether it's start the business, whether it's leave the relationship, whether it's, move, whether it's, take this trip, whatever it is that you need to do to get you to the next step, make this phone call, right? Empress is saying it's time to do it. But there's Ace of Swords energy here that lets me know there may be something that's trying to block you from pulling in whatever it is you're trying to pull in this energy. And that could be you blocking yourself, right? And self sabotage. Move, get out the way, get out the way. That's what I'm hearing. Move, get out the way, get out the way. So I feel like somebody is in the way and you're saying, move. A spirit is saying, move. If it's you dealing with you, spirit is saying, move out your way, right? And Empress paired with the Ace of Sword pairs with the Ace of Sword and then the Eight of Swords. This lets me know somebody no longer feel trapped. They understand that they have everything, they have the knives or they have the blade to get out of this. They don't have to be stuck in this situation. And I feel this is somebody that is grounded in what appears to be see, didn't I say this? Self-sabotage? Didn't I say this? I said sabotage, right? You got the hammer coming down, right? Somebody, I feel like, let me just, okay, let me just get let me just get all right, okay. Somebody no longer feel trapped. Somebody no longer feels trapped, okay? Somebody no longer feels trapped. Somebody knows something was out of balance and this wasn't working and it wasn't meshing with their stability. They decided that they're going to go on a journey and do the healing work because obviously you can't change anybody. You can only change yourself, right? Now, this person may have felt repressed or not able to completely speak their truth in this particular relationship or situation, right? Um, right? And it's kind of like they're going over memories. There's a lot of quiet time going over memories of the past, thinking about whatever it is you're working on in this dark night of the soul. I know for me, it's worthiness. I don't know what it is for you. You're going to have to figure that out yourself, right? But somebody no longer have the patience to put up with something that's no longer working for them. They're doing the work that's required, right? doing the work, going into the inner child. They know that something is out of balance. They know that they need to get a new perspective. They know that they may have been dealing with someone that's immature, but they don't want to do that anymore. This King of Pentacles energy here has to deal with mature energy, somebody that's grounded. This is a masculine energy. So we're talking about somebody that's not even not it feels like they're grounded logically so they can think and then execute. They're not executing before thinking, okay? And they understand the name of the game is stability, right? They understand the name of the game is security. So they've been through enough. This is a mature person. So this can be a mature person, let's say Capricorn, a Virgo, or what's the other earth sign? Capricorn, Virgo, and I'm missing one other. I don't know what's going on with my brain right now, but I can't even remember this thing. So um Capricorn, Virgos, and why can't I remember the freaking other earth sign? That's so crazy. But y'all know this, the you know, the third earth sign. It's not coming to me right now. And this is stuff that is just embedded in my spirit, and I can't remember what the other earth sign is. Okay. And I'm seeing it, but I just can't say it. Okay, so but there's a decision that has been made, and the decision that has been made is one that you know that you can do this. Whatever this is, you can't do it. There's chatter around you making you feel like you can't do it, but you now see that you don't have to feel trapped. And I kind of feel like that song, like you can keep your opinions to yourself, right? And I keep hearing that song. I'm like, move, get out the way, get out the way, move, get out the way, get out the way. That's the energy I feel like somebody is moving and they're telling other people, okay, Taurus, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that. So a lot of us are being reintroduced to the new the newest version of ourselves. And when I say the newest version of ourselves is because you can think of it as a shedding, having to go through some experiences, and now that you've learned, it's like a shedding. You know, we know so much about what we don't want, right? So this is the best way I can explain the new energy that we're in. The old timeline, we worked very much on what we don't want, right? We worked on what we don't want. We worked on what we don't need. We worked on what we didn't want to invest in. Like, so we know the don't. Okay. So old energies, you know what you don't. You know what you don't want. You know what you're not looking for. So you know all of the don't and the nots. Okay. And this new energy is more so being focusing on your wants and your needs. What do you really want? What do you really need? Right? What do you really want? What do you really need? And even this moment where it may feel like everything is overwhelming because energetically, all of the shit that's just going on in the ethers, right? Some people are really saying, I had enough. I make a decision. I'm going to do my work. Okay. Because I can't change anybody but me. There's energy here of either somebody rebuilding or somebody self sabotaging, right? But I feel like the self sabotage comes from this ace of swords in reverse here. Okay. So you got, it's kind of like you got, okay. So here we go. It's kind of like you got one energy where somebody is having conversations about rebuilding something, having conversations about working on something, right? Because something has ended. There's been a shift that has happened, right? Something is end. Something is end. There's been a shift that happened. I feel like you could be having conversations with somebody in the other end that's actually savoring the moments that they get to speak to you. Now, this could be toxic as fuck. Okay. And I feel like this could be toxic as fuck because it feels like someone has like a love hate type dynamics in this situation, right? Rebuilding or self sabotage, having these conversations, maybe about a friendship or maybe about a partnership, maybe about, the newness, changing the energy. Once again, I want to say that this relationship could be you with yourself, okay? There's been some type of end, like I said, somebody ended something because a coffin is popping up here. So somebody ended something, okay? Um, Somebody ended something here with the coffin and the dragonfly card next to it. Somebody's not, and because it's end, somebody's adopting to the change. All right. So something ended. There was conversation about something, and somebody either had to be open to the integration that okay, I'm no longer at this career, this part of the journey has end. Okay, I'm no longer in this relationship, this part of the journey has end. Okay, I see that I'm getting triggered constantly by this particular thing. I know for me, I'm not taking this over into 2025 or whatever, or new birthday. For me, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm not taking that over into a new birthday. So this part of the journey for me, self-sabotaging myself has end. There's been some type of ending of something here and a new beginnings that's here, and somebody's adapting to change. But although you're adapting to the change, like you still heard about this, somebody's hurt about something, right? Ooh, wind, don't blow too much. I don't want you to blow my cards off the table. Okay, so then we got energy here of I feel we have energy here of someone could be spying or social media or going back to text messages. Um, I feel like whatever it is that was walked away from, or whoever it is that was walked away from, okay, whatever it is that was walked away from, the energy on the other side of that, it kind of feels like although this person with the Ace of Swords is talking a whole bunch of shit, right? And they're really not encouraging and they're not supportive and their words are hurtful and they're sharp and they're brass, right? I feel like this person could be either watching you on social media or when y'all are having and this person, I want to say may be even a little hesitant of coming to you and having any more conversations. I feel because you how you may have shut them down, right? Somebody is hesitant because they've made some mistakes. And you could have been the yin and the yang that balanced this whole shit. And whether this is a family member, I feel like this could have been somebody that you were close to or something that you put a lot of time in, right? This is something that you invested a lot of time in, a lot of energy in. Okay. But you had to walk away in order for you to grow. And I'm going to be honest with you. This was sad. Like, whatever this is, like, you invested time. And I feel like not only did you invest the time, there was a lot of repression. Like, you didn't show the full you, right? Like, the full you and who you are was not fully shown. And I feel like you couldn't fully show that because the parts of you that you did show wasn't really even embraced, right? So there is twin flames energy popping up here. I don't like to really use twin flame energy. I feel like it's mirroring energy, right? So there's always a mirroring energy when you're in a relationship, any type of relationship dynamics, partnership, friendship, intimate relationship, right? So I kind of feel like somebody is hesitant because they don't know how you want to react. I feel like they think that you know that this is over, right? And they want to come in and they want to have conversations. So they're paying attention to you. They're either looking at your social media, they're either checking text messages, they're either sending you text messages that's not really about anything, right? But I feel like maybe even flipping through pictures, or if it was a project based, going through your deck that you built, if it was anything career related, maybe looking at notes to an idea that you was bringing to the table that now they can't use because you're no longer in this situation. Whatever this is, you were the yang to somebody's yin, okay? Or they were the yin to your yang. But that is out of balance now because we have the Grim Reaper, which means the relationship is over, it's dead. There's no second chances. Whatever this person did to cause the imbalance and the movement, and I kind of feel like it wasn't even anything. It feels like If we had just sat and talked about this in real time, if you had just been honest, right? Not subliminally, like just honest, we wouldn't have been here now. But I feel like this person or this energy in this situation, it could be codependent energy, it could be controlling energy, it could be energy of this person not knowing who they are, right? And this person not knowing who they are, I feel like, yeah, this person, whoever this is, they don't know who love is. See how they got love just attached to their leg and they just dragging it? They don't know what love is, what support really looks like, okay? Because they're not dealing with their shit. They're not dealing with their shit. And you're in healing mode. So somebody's in healing mode because they're now doing what they need to do for themselves. Somebody is still in mode of codependency, controlling energy and not dealing with the hurt. Like they don't want to have the real conversations. Now, let me just say this. If this is you and you are dealing with you and you're the one that's not, you know something is over, you know something is done. Part of you wants to get to the other side. So you feel the separation, you feel the hurt, you feel the anger, right? You know changes here, you're stepping into your healing, but there's part of you that's hesitant because you keep thinking back about what coulda, shoulda, you know, maybe woulda, especially when it comes to the yin to your yang or the yang to your yin, vice versa, right? Um, and whatever, it feels like a cord has been cut. Whatever was over, you know that this is over or needs to be over if this is you dealing with yourself because of your codependent issues, right? Um, but you also know that you can't run from this because you got to do your shadow work if you're working with yourself. You got to do your own shadow work. In order for you to attract something new and something different into this experience, you're going to have to do your shadow work, okay? Overall message, I hear Spirit saying that this is a universe. A universe is ever expanding, you know, and retracting, expanding, and retracting. It's like a breath. So I'm hearing be open for the growth. Yes, this may be uncomfortable, but you're going to get through this. There is a breakthrough here, okay? A breakthrough happening, right? You're going to be able to see clearly. Open up your third eye. And when I say open up your third eye, that's you being able to mentally balance yourself, right? Because remember, we spent a lot of time in what we don't want. Now it's time to think about what we do want, okay? So mentally, you're going to think about what you do want to experience, not what somebody did to hurt you, not what you said or what you said when they said, or no, you're going to think about what you do want. You're going to think about the experiences you do want because you cannot check grown people from being grown. And let me tell you what I mean by that, okay? If a grown person in a relationship or a partnership or a businessship has an idea or perception in their mind about who you are, right? And you've done nothing but operate in who you are, but they see you as an opposite of who you are, you can't change anybody's mind about seeing the truth in you. You can't. The only thing you can do is just keep showing up as you, right? And now that you're showing up as you and you're doing the healing work and you're doing the shadow work that's needed, I feel like and you're no longer repressing how you feel or what you think and you're vocal about it. Somebody don't really want to have conversations with you. See, avoiding the call. They don't want to have no conversations. They don't want to talk about it. And if this is you dealing with you, you may need to go sit yourself in the corner somewhere, turn the lights out, and face yourself. There is, see, and I can't like listen. And I feel like whoever this is, or whatever it is that you cut off, there seems to be a replaying of nostalgic moments and memory. It's kind of like you can't believe that this is where this is at right now. But know that you're going to transcend from that because Spirit is saying it's okay to breathe. This is just a moment. It is okay to breathe. This is just a moment. You do not need to know what to do in every moment. You do not. But it's okay for you to breathe because this is just a moment. I thought I had brought my oracle cards with me, but I did not, right? So overall messages, you got the Empress showing up here. It's time for you to grow. It's time for you to expand, right? Popping up with the Eight of Swords in reverse. You are no longer trapped. Somebody sees their way out of something, okay? This Ace of Swords that's been talking a lot of shit that's harsh, that could be even cold. I feel like very cold energy with this Ace of Swords and even how they speak, right? Now, let me just tell you something. If you're the Ace of Swords and you're speaking to somebody coldly and harshly and And I even want to say disrespectfully, just even the tone and the gestures, right? If you're the one doing that, you need to know one, this person is ready to change and heal. That shit bothers them if they haven't said anything to you. They have now taken on the opportunity for them to do the shadow work. So you're not going to be able to keep fucking with whoever this is if you're the one watching this video and you're doing the fuck shit. You're not going to be able to do that. Okay, so let's look at the bottom of the deck and see. Yep, Six of Wands in reverse. Somebody gave up. Somebody gave up. Somebody's like, okay, yeah. Oop, Three of Swords fell out. Hold on. So you got the Six of Wands with the Three of Swords showing up, okay? I think with the Three of Swords and the Six of Wands showing up, somebody have decided no more, they're ready to move on. I give up from working on something that I feel like I can't fix you and you can't fix me. That's what I'm getting. I can't fix you and you can't fix me. Yep. This is a self-worth thing. It feels like somebody has expectations for you that you're never going to live up to, or you may have expectations for somebody that they're never going to live up to because they don't have it to give, or you don't have it to give. So, one of the things that I have learned in this journey thus far, and especially in the current situation that I'm going through now, and even I want to say going back to 2020 before my dad transitioned, I learned that as a young adult growing up into becoming a full mature adult, I held on to things about my dad, right? Um, that I thought he could have done differently or maybe even improved in as a father. But when I got the opportunity to be with my dad for the last couple of years before he passed away, and especially in the last the 3 months before he transitioned, I discovered over the years and in the last 3 months that I had my dad held hostage for things that I felt he coulda, shoulda did when we were younger or when I was younger that my dad didn't have the capacity to give. It's not that he didn't want to give these things, he just didn't have the capacity to give. And he didn't have the capacity to give these things because of his own past childhood experiences, past adulthood experiences, right? His own inner knowing and inner belief mechanism in which he filtered and lived by, right? So here it is, I'm walking around with all of this resentment, for this man that has always been a provider. He may not have been the dad that was there for emotional and mental support, but he's always been a provider. And I'm holding him hostage for this mental and emotional support that I felt I should have gotten as a child, only to have honest and real conversations with my dad to know that I was holding him hostage for something that he didn't have to give. He didn't learn that. That was not something he was taught, right? What he was taught was how to be a provider and to make sure that the kids ate, to make sure. So he was taught to make sure that the house was good and then you can go out and you can do whatever you wanted to do. So the landscape, once you leave this house and close the door, is totally different than the landscape once you come back home, right? So once you come back home and the landscape is the kids are fed, the bills are paid. Once I leave this door, I come home, I put the money down on the table, I get dressed, I take the shower, and I go off and I exit that door. That's a totally different landscape, right? Now, so he did not have um, the experiences in his upbringing um, to give me the things I felt I was lacking as a child, right? Um, and then it got to a point when you get to a certain age as an adult, you realize that you can't keep blaming your parents for shit that you feel like you are missing or you didn't get or you need or whatever the case may be. You realize as an adult your parents had their experience to experience it the way they needed to based on whatever past life or based on whatever universal contract that they may have signed, right? But even those things that your parents may not have learned, may not have done, because you're a different generation, you can come in and you can learn those things and you can do those things and you can heal. When they talk about generational curses, they're really talking about generational bad habits, right? And bad habits that produce cause and effect, right? So if a generational curse is going to be, you know, um, because I have sons. So for me, a generational curse in my family, let me see if I can think of one. Let's just say a generational curse in my family that I am currently breaking is that limited lack mentality and that mindset, especially when it comes to spirituality, right? Because I have a sister who's a Jehovah Witness whom I love. My mom is Baptist, whom I love, right? I didn't really, my ex is Catholic, so I didn't really um raise my children up in a particular religious belief system. I raised them up in spirituality to read auras, to pay attention to the vibration, to pay attention to the energy. So I'm saying generationally, right? Where I feel like, because I do in my family, I do have sages and I don't know, I guess that, back in my country, they call them Bushmen, you know. Um, but I do have a family bloodline where we do have people that practice what I practice, dealing with the stars, dealing with nature, dealing with herbs. Okay. So for me, what I'm here to heal in my family is that limited belief system that you have to look outside of yourself, right? For God. You have to look outside of yourself for love. You have to look outside of yourself where you need to be fearful for what you see on TV, Because I speak to my mom and I love her dearly, but my mama loves her some news now, right? So when I call my mom and she's telling me in anything in reference to like my sons, because my sons are young adults now, oh well, let the boys be careful because I saw on the news such and such and such and such. So I know that I am in my family to break a generational curse of us not knowing the truth of who we are, right? So now that I've passed the truth of who we are on to my sons can then pass that on to their kids, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth, right? So some of us are here to break and implement new changes in your DNA coding for your generational the continued generations after you. And I don't know why I went off on that tangent. I think I went on that tangent to let you know that you get to a certain age, you can't blame your parents or you can't blame other people for what you feel, for what you're experiencing, and for what you're going through. You do need to take ownership for your family. You do need to take ownership for your pain. You do need to take ownership for your hurt. You do need to take ownership for your mistakes. You do need to take ownership for your part that you played in the unfoldment of things. And those things don't mean that they all turned out positive, but if you can pull back from a situation that didn't turn out positive or the way that you thought it should have turned out, and you can pull back from that situation and said, okay, I see where I may have been a little bit critical here. So I know that that's something I need to pay attention to, right? Because I can tend to be a little critical or a little judgmental. Okay, I see where I need to set some boundaries here because what I notice is in every relationship, because I want to be the peacemaker, I don't establish good boundaries and then I feel like I'm getting walked all over, right? So it's up to you, the individual, to show up and meet yourself, right? And meet yourself not only in the places where you feel empowered or you feel strong, but you want to meet yourself also in the places where you don't feel so empowered or you don't feel so strong, right? And you want to shine love and light in those places to develop the strength, the love, and the confidence that you need in those places. Or maybe even some of the acceptance, just the acceptance, okay? So there's this running joke in my family because I tell my kids that I'm open to becoming a grandma, right? But one of the things I know about me that I am not going to be one of those grandmas where you come, you drop the baby off, and you go and you show up 2 or 3 days later. Like I'm not going to be one of those grandmas, right? There's going to be no sleepovers at my house as grandma until my little grandbabies know how to say, "Grandma, I'm hungry," and "Grandma, I need to use the bathroom." That's just me, okay? So my kids know, and anyone in my family knows that if grandma's gonna be babysitting over here, that's me. Babysitting don't come until they toddlers, right? Because grandma is not going to try to figure out what's wrong with a crying baby. I had my first child at 28. I don't really feel like I want to go through that anymore. And that's me being honest with myself. And that's also me being honest with my kids. So when it does come time for me to meet the grandbabies and spend time with the grandbabies, your ass is not in your feelings because I say I'm not watching no newborn or no you know, or no. Toddler can come, but toddler needs to say, "Grandma, I'm hungry," and "Grandma, I need to go to the bathroom." It don't have to be clear, but they need to be able to let grandma know what's going on because grandma's not trying to figure it out. Okay, so I know that about myself now, and I'm not going to feel bad or feel guilty because that's the type of grandma I decided to be. Right now, I'm not saying that I might not change my mind once grandbaby gets here, but for now, this grandmama right here ain't trying to babysit no baby. Like my kids is grown at this point. I want to go live my life and explore and figure out what it is that I want to do for this next phase of my life, right? So those are the things that I'm talking about, like knowing you and being okay with you, even if that rationale of who you are may not necessarily be okay with other people, right? It's okay. It don't have to fit everybody's. It don't. It don't have to fit everybody's point of view. It don't have to fit everybody's timeline, and so, message is really simple. Breathe. This is just but a moment, too. You don't have to constantly explain yourself to people. You don't have to constantly let people know what's going on in your head, especially when you don't understand what the hell is going on, especially when you can't even understand what's unfolding in your own brain, right? So just know that. Just know that. Okay. Now, today's Friday, so what I'm going to do is I thought I had my oracle cards, y'all, and I did not. I did not pack them because I really wanted to. And I might even jump back on here because I'm going camping. So I think I might jump back on here doing the camping thing. So let's do that. I'm not going to give like a weekend report because I'm going to jump back on here probably tomorrow or Sunday because I think today's Friday, right? So yeah, I'm going to jump back on tomorrow with a weekend report because I really want to use my oracle cards for this. My moon oracle cards, and I don't have them. I forgot to pack them with me to bring to the park. Okay. All right. So, my loves, y'all know the deal. We've been on here for 45 minutes. I don't think I'm going to be able to get my full 6 miles in because I do need to go camping. So, I think I'm probably going to do about 3 miles today. And then I'll be all geared up um, to get ready to go camping later. Okay. If y'all don't have any questions, I appreciate y'all. Y'all know the deal. I'm gonna be back here tomorrow, maybe even tonight. We'll see how the energy goes. Maybe we might pull some cards at a late night campsite. I think that's probably something to do. Let's see how that sets up over the weekend. Okay. Um, and allergy season, y'all. You see how my eyes are red. My face is just going through this blotchy shit now that it's allergy season, and I don't like it. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be walking in and through this new energy with you guys. I'm happy to be a guide. I'm happy to remind you that you are your own guru. I'm happy to remind you that you have everything that you need to be a success. You have everything that you need to be powerful. You have everything that you need to be loved. To give love, to receive love, to honor love, to cherish love, to be grateful for love. You have everything, right? You have everything that you need to experience what you want to experience. You don't only have to experience what you don't want or what's hurtful or what's painful or what's challenging. This is a season that we stepped into where this season is not bringing in ease. But in order for you to feel that ease, you're going to have to face fears and you're going to have to step into some uncomfortable places because it may be a new environment or a new plateau or a new scenery or a new background, right? So you just need to be mindful of that as you're moving throughout this energy for today and this weekend. And I am going to jump back on here, if not tonight, definitely tomorrow, because I don't have my moon oracle cards and I want to give us a word for the weekend for that. So I'll do that. But go ahead and do something kind for yourself. Love yourself, honor yourself, give grace and patience to yourself like you would with somebody else. And you also want to love and you want to be kind to somebody else, not someone you. There we go. Okay, yeah, somebody called me some my time is stat, but not so much because you show, but because you can. So, I love and I appreciate you, my love. We are going to be back here again, either later today or tomorrow, with some oracle cards. Have a great day. I am going to go walk and bask in the sun and operate in gratitude. Have a great day. I gotta go. My girlfriend is calling me about the camping trip. And I don't know what's wrong. I can't see this time of thing. I hope all of this got captured. I appreciate you. Bye, my love.